That was pretty stupid, wasn't it?
What's that?
Flashing your lights at everybody to let them know that law enforcement was sitting there running radar.
Is that what I did? Is that a crime?
Yeah.
It is? I didn't know that.
You got your license, registration, proof?
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
In this video, I'm going to show you why police officers need to wear body cameras, because it protects the officers. And number two, it protects the individual who is contacted by the officer in any scenario. In this video, I'll show you an example right after this. Well, hello and welcome to Alamance County Talks Politics. In this video, we're going to be looking at a reason why police officers need to be wearing body cameras and to have them turned on. In this particular video that we're going to be looking at, it comes from the civil rights, I think it's a civil rights attorney, his website, but he's taken this body camera footage from a town, and he's spoke eloquently about that. In this video, there's an individual who is riding down a major thoroughfare, and apparently he is flashing his bright lights at oncoming traffic, alerting them that there is there are officers that they're going towards that are checking their speed, that are going to be using radar on them. And so we're listening to this interaction, and let's see exactly what unfolds, what transpires, see what we can learn from this interaction. I'll be talking about it as we watch it. Let's get into it.
That guy flashing these lights, warning everybody you're sitting there. I'm going after him.
I'm going to stop it right there. Listen to the first thing that the officer says to the individual.
That was pretty stupid, wasn't it?
What's that?
Flashing your lights at everybody to let them know that law enforcement was sitting there running radar.
Is that what I did? Is that a crime?
Yeah.
It is?
All right, so there we go. The first question, one of the guys, he asked the question, is it a crime? And the officer says, yes. That's going to be pivotal in this interaction. The reason I say this is because if this body camera footage was not there, none of this would have been recorded. It would have been his word against the officer's word. Let's continue.
I didn't know that.
You got your license, registration, proof? Why would you do that? You're flashing your high beams at people to...
In the daytime?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a crime.
It doesn't say daytime or nighttime. It just says that you can't do it, and you did it.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know if that's a law or not? We'll be talking about that in just a moment, but how many times do you use your high beams to communicate with people? There'll be an oncoming car coming your way, and they'll have their bright lights on. What do? You flash them to let them know their bright beams are on. The other day, there was a little puppy dog running down the road on a major road. Well, I pull over, and I'm flashing my lights at this car that's coming over a hill so that they'll know, because I'm sure they didn't see the dog. And I'm flashing them. I flashed them probably 10 or 15, probably 10 times, I should say. And traffic behind me stopped. The traffic oncoming stopped because they saw this animal as well. My point is we use our high beams to communicate, and this is an action that is considered an act or a form of communication through the First Amendment. And so for this officer to bring this up, he's going to make this into something that it's really not, as far as flashing lights. And we'll look at that, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But listen to the interaction.
What's that?
The insurance, I didn't look it up on my phone. I don't think I got the actual card yet, but let me see.
And can I tell you, folks, look at how responsive this guy is to the officer. He's fairly kind. I mean, there's not any type of pushback at this point. He just asked him he asked him a question, which he has every right to do. Is it illegal? And I mean, the guy's being very, he's listening. He's doing what he's asked to do. He's trying to find his registration. This guy's not a threat. Let's continue to listen.
Insurance, because I got insurance. I switched from Allstate to State Farm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was a crime. I didn't know that was.
He even apologizes for breaking a law that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, you can't high beam people at any time in the daytime or nighttime.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. I mean, yeah, nighttime I understand, but daytime I don't know.
I'm sure I could articulate some other kind of driving charge in there for doing that too.
And now listen to what the officer does. Instead of de-escalating, he keeps upping the ante. He says, "I'm sure I could I could include that in the charge as well, and find you a charge for that as well."
That's pretty crappy.
And notice what the officer says. It's pretty crappy. We're not worried about whether something's crappy. We're worried about whether something is lawful, whether it's legal. Did he break the law, or is it something that you just got offended at because it was alerting oncoming traffic to the officer who was trying to check their speeds? That's what it sounds like here. He says crappy. This is not. We're not worried about whether it's crappy or not. We're worried about whether it is illegal or legal to do. You're a law enforcement officer, not a crappy enforcement officer.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
Now, let me explain this. The conversation has taken place. He's given him his information. The officer went to the car, and now he's coming back to the gentleman in the car. Listen to how this officer takes offense to what this driver does next.
All right, sir, there's your stuff back there. And I wrote you 2 citations today. First one being special restrictions on lamps, which you can read that code, and it says no flashing lights shall be on a vehicle. And at that point in time, you had flashing lights on your vehicle. It's unauthorized.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. This sounds like a stretching of something, a misapplication of something other than this.
Well, under the Constitution, it's protected in the First Amendment. But I'm going to look into it.
That's in Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see about this.
So now the guy, while the officer was in the car, this gentleman did a little research, and he says it looks like it's a constitutionally acceptable move or act. And the officer looks at, he says, "Well, that's in Tennessee. That's in Tennessee." Well, the guy said he's going to check it out. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Free speech.
Yeah, it's not illegal to do that.
But the guy said it was illegal to do it. Now he's saying it's not illegal to do it.
To flash and warn? That was pretty stupid, wasn't it?
What's that?
Flashing your lights at everybody to let them know that law enforcement was sitting there running radar.
Is that what I did?
It's illegal to high beam, and it is legal to have flashing lights on your vehicle, not being an emergency vehicle.
I'll see.
Huh?
I said I'll see.
Okay. And I could take you to jail today for your unsigned registration card, but I just wrote you a citation for that. That's actually up to 6 months in jail.
Now, did you hear what the officer just did? I mean, he is escalating this. I mean, you're telling me that you don't have other crime that is more desperate than this? This is ridiculous to me.
You think it's funny, sir?
I'll take the ticket, sir.
I know, but do you think this is funny?
I'm allowed to laugh.
So the guy chuckles when he mentions the 6 months in jail, and the officer looks at him and says, "You think this is funny?" Now the officer, his feelings have been hurt. Now he's offended. And now he's going to try to humiliate this guy. Now he's going to retaliate. Watch what he does. You just won't believe it.
Laugh all along.
Go ahead and step out here for me.
I didn't do anything.
Sir, I'm asking you to step out of the...
Am I being detained?
Yes, sir, you are. Step out of the vehicle.
Are you serious?
Place your hands behind your back for
Are
me.
you serious?
Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me.
Oh, man, you're serious, brother.
I'm not your brother.
Believe me, you're not.
Yeah, I'll never be your brother. I'll never be your brother.
Exactly. You'll never be my brother.
And now the officer acts childish and engages in, "I'll never be your brother. I'll never be your brother." How unprofessional is that?
Just be careful.
I don't want to be your brother.
No, just be careful with me, sir.
Don't jerk away from me.
Just be careful.
Don't jerk away from me, sir.
Just be careful.
Don't jerk away from
And now he applies the old police tactic to make it look like, or at least to make it look like, I ain't saying he pushed the guy, I'm saying, but him verbally saying that he was trying to pull away from him to make him look like his actions are necessary to do what he's doing. So he's pulled the guy, he's got in the car, got out of the car. Now he's trying to humiliate him. He's trying to retaliate against him. Now he's trying to defend his actions in front of the camera. He knows the car camera's on, and that's why he's doing this. This is somewhat of an actor. I mean, this is what you do to make sure that you prove to people that your actions are necessary. This is unacceptable.
For me.
My wallet is in the car.
Okay, I don't want you to jerk away from me
I was
right there.
going away from the traffic.
No, I was putting you in front of my car.
Okay.
Now, look at the road there. You just watch traffic throughout this video. You're going to see some very big vehicles come through. If I were on that road, I would want to be as far away from that traffic as I could be. But the officer, he wants him in front of the car right there on the white line. They are right there on the white line of traffic. It's ridiculous.
Which is away from traffic.
You're arresting me for laughing.
No.
I didn't do anything.
I'm arresting you for unsigned registration.
Okay.
Why did he pull him out of the car? He said, I could write you this and you could spend 6 months in jail. Why didn't you do it? He didn't enforce that, or so-called enforce it, until the guy chuckled by his threatening to put him in jail for 6 months. And now he says, no, I'm arresting you for this.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, so stand right there. Do you have any weapons in the vehicle?
I have no weapons. I'm working now.
Okay. Hang tight in front of my vehicle.
I mean, look at how close the car is. It's right there on the white line.
Hang tight right here in front of my vehicle for me. I guess I'll see you in court.
And as I watch this, you wonder why people look at officers with suspicion. This is why. Listen, I am for law enforcement. I want the police to enforce the law, but I want them not to violate the constitutional rights or the civil rights of an individual. Both need to be held accountable, both the officer's actions as well as the individual whom the officer has come into contact with in whatever scenario that may be. Body cameras are needed to evaluate the actions of the officer, to make sure that they responded and behaved in a manner that is consistent with police policy, and also to protect the officer just in case there is something that takes place or an interaction that takes place between the officer and the individual. So this is a win-win. You want to be able to see this. And without this body cam that this officer had on his body and also on the car, this information would have never been available. You don't know what the officer does in certain interactions, and you don't know what the individual does in certain interactions. It's their word against their word. So I'm saying all police officers need to be wearing body cameras, and so that these issues, these things can be videoed for the betterment of society, and so that it removes anyone lying about a certain situation, because they do. Officers lie in their reports. There are many occasions where officers have lied in their reports, and there is nothing to refute that. There's no body cam footage. But there are times when also people will lie, and you need that body cam footage to protect the officer. So let me encourage you, leave your comments in the comment section. And this is Alamance County Talks Politics. Until next time, take care.